trouble. Anyway, I am working on, oh, there's water there. Let me wipe that up. Now we're good. That should be alright to boil off a little bit. I've got some carrots cooking in there a little bit as well. That is plain broth that I pulled out of the freezer. I used some dry stovetop bread stuffing, some fresh spinach, and now I'm doing mushrooms. And this is the stuffing that I'm doing with my chicken bake. Now, the thing I'm going to have to be careful of is that this chicken is not deboned. And that's more be careful about eating it thing. And as let's see. Now I want to get through this as quickly as possible. This package had really small mushrooms in it, so. Nice mushroom heavy. And then instead of doing a cream soup, the traditional, do it in a can thing. I hate this button. Okay. Naturally, it opens on the opposite end. I'm going to let that boil off a little while I'm doing this. It's actually not hard. Actually, the best way to start cream soup is like with any other soup I find. Instead of using water, use broth. Homemade broth is best. Of course, homemade broth is best. Especially bone broth. This stuff takes me days to make. So, I'll make a big batch, then I'll immediately use some in soup. Bone broth takes on the flavor of anything that you do with it very well, so it makes it very easy to use less and still get more with it. It's a really good way to stretch another kind of broth. So before you do something like this, you probably want to make sure that it's flavored in, that whatever meat you want to offset the flavor with, because guess what? That makes it taste better. Even if you're using mushrooms or something, just having that sort of earthy flavor in there, that sort of down-to-earth flavor, can do wonders, although it kind of tastes a little weird if you just do it mushrooms. Might also be mostly because I grew up doing it this way. Well, I should say, with broth being something made from drippings. My grandmother would make gravy drippings. Go to your room and finish cleaning up. And then come back down here. Alright, using time. So, she would do stuff in gravy dripping. You know, we'd make gravy from drippings and putting like leftover homemade gravy in a soup. It's awesome. Vegans of the world will be like, but actually it's a way not to waste it. And it's actually a lot of disrespect to the living creature that gave us life. All your toys out of the hallway?
Yes.
Everything's in your room all neat? Not gonna go up in there and find anything on the floor? Why don't you go sit on the bed and think about what you did? And how little boys who do that don't get to watch me make dinner. Yeah. He's in it. He got mad and did something last night that we only found out, like, just before I started this, so. But it's something that was bad enough. Yeah, he's in trouble. Like, he can't not be in trouble. So, anyway, what I was doing back there is I was putting cheese in it. Because instead of using heavy cream, I used skim milk, a little bit of buttermilk, shows more fruity flavor of it than anything else. Christopher? Christopher! That better not be you out here. Yeah. I told you, no playing in the hallway. Which is apparently needs to be reset. No, it's actually the cat. He's doing something he's not supposed to now. It's actually gotten to the point where the cat has started to put himself in the time. I'm not even shitting. I can't make this shit up. He got scolded. Lucky. Next thing you know, Chris is like, look, Lucky put himself in the corner. And I'm like, what? I turn around. Sure enough, Lucky is in the corner. Nose in it. He's sort of sitting there. Like, yep, I know I'm in trouble. And this is what trouble means. We have literally put Chris in the corner so many times over the years. The cat has adopted this, as he knows he's in trouble. Okay. I didn't have time to cut an onion, so I'm going to cheat. Because I've had to do other things while cooking. This is what I do when my onions are getting close. What this is? Diced onions. Still better than no onions. Still getting an amount of nutrition from onions, but I keep some backup ingredients. Like whenever things look like they're getting close to the end, but they're not quite there. Still good. Like you just gotta use it soon. Cut it up, freeze it. I've got some sliced onions up there too. Different bags, of course, like for different time periods of stuff. Like you don't want to mix stuff like that and end up with something that's freezer burned. Freezer burned food is not tasty food, and eating all this tasty food has kind of made Chris a little picky. So sometimes he'll even say that he's not really hungry if it's not something he really likes. I guess that's a sign of a kid who gets enough to eat, if you know they do that. Because, yeah. I mean, you'd think, but then we also worry, because we just worry. I guess that's kind of a given. So, yeah. This is not going to be horrendously creamy. I do not want it to be that way, because this is specifically, I want it to be a good balance between creamy and brothy. I don't really want it to be thick. I want it to be something that kind of complements the flavors. Kind of helps keep the top moist. So, and the trick is that whenever, see, bread stuffing, I could just do this by taking a loaf of bread, you know, that doesn't get eaten or something, just, although my bread typically gets eaten, so that would be hard, but just make a loaf of bread, or buy a loaf of bread, tear it up, and put some seasoning in it. You just don't need as much liquid, otherwise you end up with it soggy. Stuffing, especially bread stuffing, is not hard to make. Although if you use stale bread for it, as long as it's cut up first, it's kind of a bitch to cut up otherwise. it can be especially good. I added some carrots in there because I wanted them to kind of cook a little bit. They're kind of sliced, so I was just breaking up a couple bigger pieces, and I'm just kind of stirring it in. And because I'm sitting down, this actually takes more arm strength. Yeah. You wouldn't think so, but I'm reaching above my shoulder. Like, in order to stir, this is where my arm has to be. I think that people who have different difficulties like that sometimes don't get enough credit for stuff like that, because people are like, oh, you could just sit there and do it. No, it's actually harder to do sitting down. Unless you have like a stool or something. We do, but I never use it. Because I'm like terrified. I'll just break it. And it's usually where Chris sits to watch me in the kitchen. Alright. This is post oven, post chicken. It is a beautiful stuffing. Well, maybe it could be prettier, but we're going for young. This is nothing that like you would get Chef Ramsay or anything going, yay! But it's enough for my better half, who is a fan of Chef Ramsay. Which is why I'm constantly saying it, because I cannot get away from Chef Ramsay. Although, to be fair, I've actually buckled down and watched some of Chef Ramsay's stuff with him, Kitchen Nightmares and all that. It's not bad. We had this on the plate so that the chicken juice wouldn't get everywhere in the fridge. Alright. Anytime, I don't like doing this with the bones attached, but I don't have time to detach them right now. So I have to do it after they're cooked. Which I guess isn't the worst thing ever, because meat that is cooked around a bone often tastes better. It's because of all that cartilage and whatnot. So, I mean, if you can deal with it, sometimes it actually helps the meat. Now, if you're curious, my hip is pretty much healed at this point. It's more the general stuff at this. Every once in a while this happens. Actually, that's the only reason why I can sit in this particular chair while in the kitchen. You know, the one that rolls? Which actually kind of makes it easier, because it sits lower. Alright. Honey, if you eat all of this tonight, I'm gonna scream, because I feed a small army. 2 of them. Their names are Jean and Chris. So I have this habit, anytime I wash my hands and I've touched meat or anything, I will put soap on the faucet that I had to touch, and I will wash that too. It's just better to do that. Naturally, I completely forgot to preheat my oven. Excuse me while I pause this to talk to Munchkin and make sure that he understands that he's not going to be doing this again. I know he's not just sitting there, he's reading a book or something, but I want him to actually think about what he ate, because it was pretty nasty. Tall cat, stuff handled. We're good. Alright. Clearly not ready for this chair. Could you please go put that back in front of my desk? And then can you bring me the chair from the table? At least it's all the way back in. Thank you very much, Chris. That was a big help. Come here. I love you very much, even whenever you do naughty things. Thank you for helping me. Well, I told you to go play. The positioning of that chair stresses the ball joint. Or should I say the ball joint to socket ratio. My hip literally came out of socket right there. That's what I'm trying to avoid right now. And I already did a bunch of my exercises earlier. So, and a lot of my exercises are leg heavy. Very low impact, but there's a lot of emphasis on making it that way. These are things that you might think of as high impact if I wasn't doing those specific movements. And indeed they would be. What is wrong with this? What? Well, your drawer was open whenever you dropped them. Check in there. All three were open. I've told you to close those a million times. Now go look at them. The side table. So, can't find something? Ask Mom, right? Ow. Oh, I'm not going to be moving very far right now. That hurt like a B word. I know he's listening to me right now. Alright. Now, I dug out yet another dish that Gene hand washed. Yeah. He's been banned from hand washing things. This is from whenever the thing was kind of broken, the dishwasher, so get some hot water going. because I need this dish. I am going to do a basic green bean casserole. Literally not even going to get fancy, just going to take an actual can of cream of mushroom. This is not going to get fancy. I was going to just make a cream soup that was a little bit creamier, but not after that. Like, you don't feel like getting all really fancy after, you know, that happens, that hurt. Well, the inside of it's clean. Now, Gene often likes to help me, like, their dinner dishes after he gets home, and they're usually hard because if I have to feed Chris first, I'll often have something going so that he can still eat. This is basically a dish that overflowed because it was a casserole, and it was filled a little high. But yeah, you gotta watch the outside of dishes too. And you see, by the time he gets home, he's brain fried, and he can't feel the difference in his hands. He's been cleaning stuff all day at work, because apparently he's the only one that actually cleans the printer. So, yeah. The last thing that, like, I expect is for him to, like, be ruder at this. But I will admit, it is a help whenever he does stuff, so I try not to be too critical of it, because I know he's brain fried. I know he feels about as much like doing this as I do whenever he gets home. And just, I appreciate the effort, the help regardless. This, however, is a little bit more of a pain in the ass than it should be right now. I'm not gonna lie, this I could have done without. But, you know, that's just something that we find. He's now banned from trying to wash things by hand. He wasn't always this bad at it. Like, he used to be better. It's just that he already had nerve damage, like, before he had what he has now. He has actually got nerve damage in places. So, like, before you factor in age, carpal tunnel, and all that, you know, he has other stuff going on, and that went on in, like, his childhood and stuff, so he didn't have a whole lot of feeling there to begin with, and, yeah. So, I'm not even mad. I mean, literally, I'm pretty sure he probably just took off his glasses. Couldn't see the difference. Well, I didn't even need to look. I mean, you spend all that time in Walmart, you don't want to come home and wash the dishes. I'm just glad that he just wants to help. You know, I stay up and I make sure that he eats on the days that he works late. We have, you know, that kind of best friend sort of relationship. But also, you know, he's an amazing man who checks in during his lunch break. Like, at some point, the guys at his work got mad. Because I guess somebody's girlfriend was working there too. And they're like, why don't you do that? And some guys that don't even work there have gotten in trouble because their girlfriends work there. I'm not sorry. I will gloat. He is worth gloating over. He calls, he checks in at home, any break that he has, he attempts to get it when he knows Chris is home, or about to get home, you know, he'll check in at home, see how things are going, you know, he talks to Chris, so, you know, there's still that, everything, he's still very involved, even whenever he's not home. He is as involved as he can be while at work. He's an amazing dad. And an amazing partner, and I'm not going to feel bad about it just because some person I don't know feels like he's setting a higher standard. If you feel like he's setting a higher standard, then set a higher standard. Instead of trying to drag everybody down, just set a higher standard. Sooner or later, everybody will just be living to a higher standard. But also, like, don't drag people down for not meeting that standard. Just don't date them if you don't want them. Like, don't yell at them and be like, why don't you ever do this? Well, I guess you can ask why they never do that, or, like, express the desire for it. But I never asked Gene to do this. It's just part of his character. It's not a control thing either. He just wants to know how things are going. He wants to be involved. So he is, and he makes himself involved. What is that? Oh, it's a stain in my Corningware. What is this? That is a mark in the actual Corningware itself. Why? So I can't wash that off, obviously. But I can get the rest of this off. I'm almost done with it. See, I knew that this would take a while. Because my ex-husband was hella worse. And I've spent some time cleaning up some fucked up dishes. Also, not even my ex-husband, but I don't really want to talk about that experience. Just suffice to say, I have experience cleaning up other people's messes and the results of them having left those messes for an extended period of time. This wasn't even that bad compared to that. So it took some scrubbing and some elbow grease, but it's clean. See the water head. What? Well, then I guess I don't know. The package just got open, Chris. I can't do nothing if... Chris, why don't you come here? He likes to help and it'll distract him. Why don't you grab me a bag of green beans? You actually wash it. Yes. Ow. And wash the dish. And the next. Come on, bag of green beans, vamos. I know there's some in there, I made sure of it. Yes, it's cold, it's in the freezer. Pretty much the only thing we buy these for anymore. Yes, it's gonna be cold. You wanna grab me the scissors out of the door? Oh, never mind. They're right in here. I was just using them earlier. Hold on. Not quite enough room for another thing, do you think? So we'll be good with one bag, right?
Yeah.
What is that?
Microwave or cook?
Chris.
What?
That is blasphemy. Just... no.
Not for that cake.
Do not microwave my vegetables. I don't even like the fact that we have a microwave. That thing is blasphemy. Blasphemy, I tell you.
My dad uses it sometimes.
Your dad accidentally put a bagel in it this morning whenever he was half asleep.
Really?
Yeah.
A bagel.
Could you please get me out a can of cream and mushroom?
Mushroom.
Cool, if I do this just right, it actually... causes an exact ripple in the middle of the pan. Yeah, anyway. Guys, stop digging through there. You know where it is. Chris. I can get up and get it. Is that what you want, or do you want to help?
Yes, cream and mushroom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was hiding from me. I stepped over and I saw
Yeah,
a
it
can.
was
I'm like, huh? What's this?
Hiding, huh?
Yeah, but like, oh, cream and mushroom.
Should I use the skim milk or the whole milk for this?
Skim milk.
Why?
I don't know.
The reason cannot be because you want to drink more whole milk. Oh, I have to get up anyway. I need to turn off that burner. Whatever you do, stay away from me. Oh! So you couldn't think of any other reasons?
Yeah. What's that hole?
The other milk has gotten glitter. This is why we don't... Yeah, we're not going to do glitter anymore. Maybe we'll do glitter pens one of these days?
That has glitter all over.
No, it doesn't. And I'm glad that it's nowhere near the cap. So we don't want glitter in our food. Oh, wait. Ah! Spoon?
Spoon.
Chris, you do not run in the kitchen. Remember, that's still hot. And the oven's on.
I like whole milk.
I know you like whole milk. But if we want this thicker, whole milk is better.
Really?
Yep. Cheesy or not cheesy?
Huh?
Do you want cheesy or not cheesy?
Cheesy. Why is this huge giant plate in the sink?
That's what I had the chicken on. I asked your dad to get me that plate down so that I could put the chicken on it.
Oh.
That's the one we don't use for eating because we usually use that for hams and
And cake.
chickens and
Cake.
cakes and birthday cakes. Yeah. That's a serving plate. Our only serving plate.
And turkey. Right?
Yes, dear. You want to throw this out for me?
Oh. Yeah.
You better walk.
Okay.
That's fine. Alright, milk in fridge.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The milk is away from the glitter.
I would hope so. Do you want me to add any other veggies in here?
Oh, veggies. Wait, more veggies?
Yeah.
I'm surprised my dad does peas.
Why are you such an evil child? Your dad hates peas.
I don't want.
Chris.
Yes.
No, you need to watch where you're stepping. That is the third time you've stepped on my toes. You've already said you're sorry. I'm not going to believe you if you keep on doing it.
It's the peas.
We're not doing peas. Go pick something else.
Broccoli?
Broccoli's fine.
Okay, I will get it. I know where they me.
try and surprise your dad
I don't know.
with cheese.
I like them.
Your dad does not. Don't touch yourself in the kitchen. Come on, you aren't even supposed to touch yourself there outside of the privacy of your bedroom wall. We don't want to see that.
I'm saving some.
Yeah, we can't fit the whole bag in there. You crazy? Look at this.
What?
Do you think we can fit all that in there?
No. Wait. Oh,
You'd be willing to try though, wouldn't you?
no, I won't.
Well, after some of this freezes down, we'll think about adding some cheese. And then I'm gonna squish up some crackers and put that on top.
Mommy, I love crackers.
I know you do. And you're getting hungry, huh?
I'm already hungry.
You had a snack at 4.
But Mama,
It's
when
not
I was looking on my floor and I was cleaning on my lion. Cleaning on my lion.
okay. Go color in your lion some more. A lion's gonna be a nightmare for me to clean. Because the directions literally say, like it says that these markers are super washable. It's a lion pillow thing. He got it with his allowance because it looked really cool to him. To me, this looks more like a nightmare. Because those markers aren't going to come all the way out. Because you literally, in order to get them all the way out, you have to wash it right away. And you have to treat it like a stain. It's never going to be pristine like it is now. Because no kid plays with it that way. So yeah. It's about the size of it. No matter what I do, it's never going to be as white as it is now. Should I prepare another vegetable? Now, if I do another vegetable, I'll have a mutiny on my hands. Jean is not entirely big on veggies, so. Go figure. Alright, I'm gonna end this. I still got more to do. Although I'm not making rolls tonight. We got some Hawaiian rolls from the 99-cent store. They're not as filling, but it's a treat, so. I mean, I could make them and they'd be more filling, but we have enough food. It's basically an I don't have to cook thing. Sometimes it's nice, but usually it's better to just make it because they really don't give it at the store like you can make it yourself. Bread is better when it's fresh and not mass produced. Go figure. Also, like yeast bread and non-yeast bread, they come with different sets of things that you have to prepare for. Like yeast bread, I've actually found molds more easily. Go figure, yeast is, yeah. There's a reason for that. So, yeah. So, anyway. I'm gonna go, because there was a treat I was gonna make for his dad. So. That's what I'm gonna do. chocolate mint pudding. Except real mint leaves instead of, you know. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I might just do that tomorrow. I really don't have enough time to sit here and squish it all. Yeah. Or I could leave the leaves whole. Saute them for the flavor. Some butter. I don't know, there's different ways to do it, but the final product will look different depending on which way. And sometimes even taste different, so it's sort of a thing. We should probably save the pudding for tomorrow, though it doesn't really have enough time to get the proper hold. And I feel like I should save the other thing I got ingredients to make for him as a surprise. The asparagus wrapped in bacon. Yeah, we don't get the stuff for that very often. Sort of look at that and I'm like, what, half a pound, I think, at the 99-cent store. It's not your top shelf bacon, but we never really buy the top shelf bacon and you don't really need it for this. It's an easy way to get crispy asparagus though. But we've already got so many veggies in this. Not really worried about it. If we're lucky, we might have a little bit left over.